the Becoming You show with me, your host, Leah Rowling. Do you believe you are capable of choosing your future? Sometimes it takes just one person to believe in you, or you to believe in yourself. If you find yourself continuing to say, someday I will take better care of myself, only to continue living the same day over and over and over again, then you, my friend, are in the right place. I am your biggest cheerleader, inspiring you to become you on purpose and with intention. Are you ready to create a life you love? I'm excited to share with you some big ideas that you can use today to inspire, impact, and influence your life and everyone in it. The Becoming You show starts now. Hello, my friends. How are you? I am so super good. I've got so many fun things planned for this month. I am heading to Amelia Island, where there is an Access conference that will be my second time going, and it's awesome. And then me and my family are headed to Riviera Maya for spring break. We, as a group and as a company, we are working on some video courses that we're super excited about. One in particular is, I want to tease it out here just for you guys, but it's part of the Manifest Mind series. And I and you all will have the great fortune of being able to be coached and to be led and to be loved by my coach. I say it on the show a lot that I think everybody should have a coach, and myself is included in that. And I just recently partnered up with my coach to bring to all of you these amazing courses. She is brilliant at really unpacking patterns that don't repeat, they rhyme. And so that's very exciting. So we're going to do a webinar here coming up. The links are in the show notes, but there's one March 21st at 12, and then there's one on the 26th of this month of March at 6:30, all Central Standard Time. So if you're interested in that and you can't find the notes, you know how to reach me. I would love to have you there. I promise you, she changed my life. And she will no doubt impact yours. So if you're tired of bumping up and butting up against the same old patterns, maybe making a little bit of progress, but only to find yourself like slipping back into your old ways, feeling as if you've tried everything and nothing works, feeling as if you have so much evidence as to convince yourself why it's not possible for you, I want you to join us on this webinar, because we are going to talk about these invisible traps that keep us stuck. And the problem is, friends, is we can't change what we can't see. So if we can't access it, then there's no way we can shift it. And so, as I mentioned, my business partner and I, we have been working on this course, she in particular, for a really long time. Just for you. So if you're interested, let me know. I'd highly recommend it. Just for coming to the webinar, friends, you're going to get a free creator's guide checklist, which is awesome. It's going to include ideas on how to manifest, how to create, how to set reminders for intentionality, and in particular, helping you navigate through resistance. So that's very exciting. And I'm just over the moon thrilled to be able to bring this to you, my audience, and really to the world. So enough of that. Let's get into what we're going to talk about today, which is clarity. One of my very favorite topics when I meet with my clients. It is one of the high performance habits that I talk about. And I want to unpack it for you today, because I think knowing and having clarity is monumental for the life that you want to live, the success that you want to have. So I want you to imagine, for me, if you will, that clarity is this internal compass, and it's guiding you through life's endless options and decisions that we all have. It's that moment of aha, right? Where everything seems to fall into place and you know exactly what path to take. And yet, so often we find ourselves disconnected from this sense of direction. And so the first question that I wanted to bring up on the podcast today is why? Why do we lose clarity? Right? Like life throws us curveballs, stress, overwhelm, the opinions of others, our own internal critic. Like all of those things cloud our vision, cloud our judgment, cloud our ability to make decisions with certainty. It's like trying to navigate through a storm, if you will, or go on a trip somewhere without GPS, without a map. And we end up doubting every single decision. And because we do that, we delay actions, right? Because we're not sure. And then we distract ourselves with anything that can momentarily make us feel like we're making progress, feel as if we're in control. But here's the thing, without clarity, we're not just stuck, but we're wandering without purpose. We might make decisions, sure, but they're scattered. They lack the intention that aligns with who it is that we truly are and truly what it is that we want. And this lack of direction, it leaves us, me, feeling lost, feeling unfulfilled, and quite frankly, a little bit like we're just kind of going through the motions. Okay. And now I know that there are countless strategies out there for gaining clarity, right? There's goal setting, there's journaling, there's meditation, and all of these, friends, can be incredibly powerful tools to use, right? But the cornerstone of all of clarity, the foundation upon which everything else is built, is clarity of self. So understanding who you are at your core is like unlocking the cheat code for life. Okay. It's not just about knowing your likes and your dislikes. It's about understanding your values, your strengths, your weaknesses, and most importantly, how you relate to the world and the people in it. When you have clarity about who you are socially, who you are personally, who you are in terms of success, you are, my friends, equipped with a compass that points you in the right direction, no matter what comes at you. Self-clarity gives you a set of guiding principles, or I like to call them your self, social, and success words. These are words that define the very best of who it is that you are. They guide how you navigate your personal life, how you engage and treat others, and what actions that will lead you to the most success. So I want you to imagine, for me, if you will, waking up every single day with a very clear sense of who you are and what you stand for. Imagine for me, okay? Now, I want you to consider that from that place, from that space, decisions become way easier because they either align with your core principles or they don't. The way you interact with others is completely influenced by this very deep understanding of how you want to show up in the world. Social words. And success, it becomes not just a destination for yourself, but a journey that is deeply fulfilling because it's aligned with the essence of who you are. So again, while tactics and strategies for gaining clarity are super valuable, I want you to remember that the most profound clarity comes from within. Knowing yourself truly and deeply is the key to unlocking an extraordinary life filled with purpose, fulfillment, and success. Okay? So let's really think about what that most important destination is. It's ourself. It's always ourself. So if the essence of self is the destination, I want you to consider the very core of who you are and the influences that it has on every single aspect of your life. So let's ask a couple of questions. How well, my beautiful friends, do you know yourself truly? So if we were to break it down into these three critical components, self, social, and success words. So I'm going to break each of these three down for you. And I just want you to consider, I wonder what my words would be in these categories. Because again, remember, when you know who you are, you know what to do. And then we're not exhausted with decision fatigue. We're not negotiating every decision. We're not negotiating our commitments. We're not negotiating our mission. We're not negotiating anything outside of us because we already know the truth within us. Okay? So let's talk about self-words. So when I think about self-words and I coach on self-words, these are the words that define you, my beautiful friends, when no one else is watching. And that's a misnomer. There's always someone watching you. But just for sense of conversation, what are the words that define you when no one else is watching? What are the qualities that resonate with your soul? Are you compassionate? Are you adventurous? Are you resilient? Maybe all the above, right? Taking the time to truly define these words for yourself is like building a foundation for a house. Without a strong foundation, everything else is just waiting to crumble. Okay, so what are your self-words? And more importantly, how do they guide the choices that you make every day? I would love to know these, friends. So shoot me an email, find me on social, and tell me, Leah, these are my self-words, these are my social words, these are my success words. I really want to know, okay? Social words, okay? How do you interact, friends, with the world around you? Social words are all about how you want to be perceived in your relationships, not just with others, but of yourself and in those interactions. Do you want to be known as supportive, inspiring, honest, interested? Again, all of the above, okay? Understanding your social words helps you navigate relationships with ease, integrity, and confidence. How do you want other people to describe their experience of you, with you? And how does that influence then the way that you show up with others? Okay, and then we have success words. Success isn't just about what you achieve. It's about how you achieve it. Your success words should reflect what success truly means to you. Is it about creating impact, fostering innovation, being super creative, achieving balance? Like, these words for yourself are the compass towards achieving goals that resonate, again, with your true self. So how do you define success? More importantly, how do your actions align with this definition? A lot of times there's a lot of misalignment. There's a lot of incongruencies here with how you define success for yourself and how you're showing up for that success. Okay. So truly taking the time to know and write and to review these words will save you an immense amount of time and energy. And we talked a lot in the last episode about energy and why it was so important. But this is another energy management tool, okay? Because making decisions becomes a breeze when you know what truly matters to you, right? Following through on tasks become not just a chore, but an invitation to align your actions with your essence. I just want you to imagine how much easier people become or showing up and being around people when you're at ease with yourself. Because I truly think that the reason why we find it difficult to be around people is because we are being difficult in that relationship. That's what I believe. And so when you can step into your essence with ease, there's no one that you can't be around. There's no one that you feel insecure to be around because you are secure in yourself. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, I want you to think now about progress, the progress that you could make in your life if you stopped second guessing your decisions and yourself. I want you to imagine if you stopped living out the expectations of everyone else and started living true into your own. Okay. So choosing these words, doing it on purpose, stepping into them as part of your identity is key. I want you to think about this. If it would be an exercise in futility for me to give you a 5-point strategy, right, to stop procrastinating, or if I were to give you 7 tips for making decisions, or these are the 3 actions that you need to take to achieve any goal, without addressing the most critical ingredient, you. Yes, those strategies and tips are valuable. I've given them in my podcasts, but not without the foundation, not without the core, the essence of who it is that you are. And clarity is the answer to that. Because without incorporating that, they're not going to stick. Because it's not about the tips. It's not about the blueprint. It's not about the guide. It's about you. You are the missing piece. This is why some people can take these strategies and soar, right? While others feel stuck. Because it's not the strategies that make the difference. It's how well they align with the essence of who you are that makes the difference. And so when you align your life with that, the path forward becomes not just clear, my friends, but exciting and fulfilling and unmistakably yours. Okay. So I'm part of an amazing mastermind. And one of the guys in our pod sent out a note that was around procrastination. Specifically, I think it was called 11 tips or 11 ways or something to stop procrastinating. Now, here's the thing. Nothing on there was revolutionary. Common sense isn't typically, right? And as we know, common sense is not always common practice. And it's not because we don't know what to do, right? It's because we don't do what we know. Okay? We don't do what we know. We do who we are. That is why we have to work on getting the who down, right? When we do that, it is way easier to implement these super awesome ideas. So know that you know who you are, okay? Now that you know that, I really want to share some very practical tips in order to have more forward momentum. Interestingly enough, on that list of 11 things to stop procrastinating, not one of them mentioned know who you are. Not one of them mentioned stop identifying as a procrastinator. Not one of them was a tip or a trick to explore within. They were all just action points on what to do externally. I just thought that was very interesting. Most tips and strategies are, by the way. Okay? But once we know who we are, I believe we can then navigate some of these tools and tips more effectively, more efficiently. Okay? So one of the ways that we can have some forward momentum is to be very conscientious of our cognitive load. Okay? Our brains can only handle so much before they start dropping balls, right? I'm putting that in quotes, right? Dropping balls. Understanding cognitive load is like decluttering your house, okay? We've got to move all of the stuff that we don't want in our home so that we have the home that we want, okay? Same thing with our cognitive load in our brain, okay? We've got to be better at breaking down tasks, prioritizing, right? And not just trying to multitask your way through life. It's about knowing your mental bandwidth, okay? And not opening too many tabs, right? In your brain's browser, okay? So one of my very favorite ways to do this is the Sunday set. Okay. I've probably teased it out on the show before, but the Sunday set is my roadmap for the week. All the things that I want to accomplish that week, my goals, are broken down into tasks. Friends, if we don't break them down, we will create tremendous overwhelm. And that big thing will just keep getting moved from week to week. We need to prioritize and either delegate the things on our list to either broken down tasks or to someone else. And then we need to slot them in the upcoming days of our week. Okay? Along with the Sunday set, meaning I write down everything I need to do. And then I go back, circle back through all of those things that I need to do. And I take a peek at them and I ask myself, can I get this done in a setting? And I don't know what your setting is. For me, my setting is about 20 minutes, no more than 40 minutes, because I don't have huge blocks of time in my life. So if this task is going to take me more than 20 minutes, I have to divide it and break it up into little tasks. That's first. Then once I do that, I look at those tasks and I ask myself, is this my task? Or is this a task that someone else could do for me? And you're going to have to manage your brain around all of it, because your brain is going to want to offer to you that you're the one that needs to do it, and that you're the one that's going to do it the best, and that you're the one that's going to do it the most effectively and the most efficiently. And just because any of that is or isn't true doesn't mean that you should be the one to do it. Okay? If there are things that you can delegate, delegate. Okay? In addition to the Sunday set, okay, and I talk a lot about the Sunday set in the membership that we do, but it's the most important thing that I do in my life in order to get as much done as I do in my life. Okay. In addition to that, though, I include all the people in my calendar. I include all of the people that I either need to follow up with or I'm waiting for them to follow up with me. So I go into every week with so much clarity around what's my week going to look like, right? That I don't leave much margin for confusion. I don't. And then I get it. Some people might say that they like to live more spontaneously. Okay. But if you're one of those people, like the question that I always ask is it spontaneity that you want, or is it comfortability? Okay. Because for me, even, I plan my spontaneity. I just don't want to have to negotiate with myself every single day. It's exhausting. If I set it up ahead of time, I just execute my plan. Okay. And again, if you want to learn more how to navigate the Sunday set and set up your week, or get the planner we created, check the link in my show notes. It's called the Shift Imprint. Because again, it's not just about what to do, because the majority of the flow of most calendars, is just everything you need to do. It's very task oriented. And yes, I love prioritizing and tasking, but the first half of the Shift Imprint is about getting clear on who you are. The clarity piece of this planner is so intentional because I believe it's the missing piece in so much of the development work that we do. Right? Crazy, right? We call it personal development, but most of the topics are around things that we do instead of ways to be. So that's what I want to tell you about Sunday set. I want to dive quickly into habits. Okay. So again, clarity around who we are will help us make decisions. Making decisions ahead of time will help us in minimizing the negotiation with ourselves. That's the Sunday set. And then we have habits, because honestly, they're game changers when it comes to living in clarity. Okay. Now that you have your self words, now that you have your success words, and you have your social words down, okay, you've done your Sunday set, you've prioritized your week, you've broken down the big tasks, you've even time blocked your days. Okay. You're practically now a pro at being intentional. This is where it gets even cooler. This idea of tracking your habits. I want you to think of habits as the daily brushstroke on the canvas that is your life. They might seem small on their own, but together, like think about it, think about a canvas, a painting. They paint the picture of who you are and what you're about. And that, again, is why I'm a fan of the imprint workbook, because it's not just about writing down your habits. It's about tracking them every single day. Every single day, friends, I write down my habits. It's on the left side of the whole planner. I write down my habits, and then just by writing it, it reminds me that that is what I need to be doing in that day. And then at the very end, you go through and you check mark them off that you did them. It's monumental for your progress. So I want you to think about what it would look like if you had a clear record of how you're living out yourself, your success, and your social words through your habits. It's truly like a roadmap to your best self, drawn out, painted out, whatever visual you need. And again, there's something incredibly powerful about seeing your progress in black and white. It's concrete evidence that you're not just dreaming about the life that you want, you're actively building it one habit at a time. So if you're serious about embracing clarity and making intentional living your norm, you've got to get in the habit of tracking your habits. It's about creating a path on purpose, steering clear of autopilot, and making sure that every step you take is in alignment with who you are and who you want to be. Okay. So I want to give you just one more idea. Okay. Let's chat about something super cool. And that's generating the feelings that you want in your life on purpose. Have you ever found yourself saying, I'm just not in the mood to do that right now? Well, what if I told you that you had the power to change that mood, to actually choose the feelings that you want to experience? It's like, instead of waiting for motivation or inspiration to strike, you grab it and you create it for yourself. How? By setting the stage for it. Okay? By setting the stage for it. And I'm going to talk to you about that next in the next show, where I'm going to talk to you more about emotions and how to embrace them and how to use them intentionally to create the results and the outcomes that you want in your life. It's so super powerful to be the authority of how you feel. Okay? So I want you to understand clarity so deeply, because I know that for me, making decisions without it is exhausting. Because what happens typically is I over yes myself because I have no strong clarity of self. And so I'm just at the whims of pleasing everybody else. And at the end of the day, knowing who I am, I don't need to be pleasing for everybody else. And it just so happens, friends, that when you get to that place, you just happen to be pleasing for other people because you show up better. You show up less exhausted. You show up less frustrated. You show up less angry. You show up less bitter. You show up less resentful because you've taken the time to really get to know who you are and how you want to show up. Your relationships will thank you, right? Your to-do lists will thank you because you're no longer negotiating decisions in the now time, because you've taken the time to set up your week and you've chosen ahead of time. Okay? So I want you to consider the importance of clarity. I want to know your words. So share them with me. Use habits, use Sunday sets as tools to enhance your sense of self. They don't replace it, and they can't initiate it. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. You have been listening to the Becoming You show with me, your host, Leah Rolling, where I share big ideas to inspire, impact, and influence your life. Tune in every Friday at 11 Central on transformationtalkradio.com for your morning cup of coffee, the hug you never want to end, and that inspirational message that you felt was written just for you. Each show is inspiring you to become you with purpose and intention. For more information or to connect with me, visit www.leahrolling.com.